Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Before we get started, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the page. Got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below and we'll work with it. Before we actually get started, I want to give a big I don't say a shout out, but it's like more or less condolences to the Frankie Beverly family, one of the greatest R&B singers, one of the greatest singers to me of all time, one of my favorite, regular guy, play that guitar, make some of the most classic R&B songs, some of the greatest songs, period. I don't give a fuck what genre it is. Rest in peace to him, my favorite. Anybody that knows me, I love Frankie Beverly and Mays, and it's definitely, he will be missed. But we have his music to carry on and whatnot and listen to and whatnot. I know this past year was going to be his last year touring, health issues and stuff like that. And, we lost a giant today, especially in the R&B community. We lost a giant, one of the best that ever do it. Plain regular guy, never met him, seen him in concert a couple times and whatnot. He will be missed. Like I say, anybody that knows me, been knowing me for years, know I love Frankie Beverly and Mays. Feel good music. He always made feel good music. Whether he's always dealing, talking about the ladies and stuff like that and whatever, and love and all this type of stuff like that. But he did it in such a way how he came off his live shows was off the hinges and everything like that. Definitely rest in power, peace, whatever they say nowadays. But rest easy there, Frankie and whatnot. And you will be missed. Now back to the subject at hand. Let's get through this. I'll probably tomorrow come back give you my picks. I actually did them earlier today, but I didn't like the way it came out, so I just decided not to do it. And I said I'll do it tomorrow because the game doesn't start until 8-something tomorrow. And came up with the show and did the show way before that time and gave you my picks of everything and stuff like that. But it's back to be on. I'm glad to be back on. Season has started. Everything's looking good. Still week 1. I'm getting ready to go into week 2. So a lot of football left, a lot of football left and stuff like that. So, I told you guys been knowing for a long time, know that I don't really start really getting off into football until the 8th and 9th week. That's when, you pretty much are who you are by that time. But let's do this. Now, being that I've been on Twitter, and I'm probably one of the biggest trolls on there, but being that I've been on Twitter and whatnot, one of the things I see in some of the worst fans, as far as I'm concerned, is the Cincinnati Bengals fans. You would actually think that these motherfuckers have won 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. See, Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals are try to take on the impersonation of taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Because in their mind, if we did this, if this would happen, if it's a Nawapic word we use known as "iza," which means if. But shit, if I was 6'2", what would I have done in my life? If I had $100 million, what would I like? If I had this, if I had that, everything is a goddamn if on Twitter with these people. Now you got, again, Cincinnati, I think loses 16-10, if I'm not mistaken, to the Patriots. Now this ain't the Belichick Patriots, which that will go far with that. Cincinnati supposed to stump a mud hole in the Jacoby Brissett led Patriots. That didn't happen. Now Joe Burrow can dye his hair and try to look like a young Billy Idol if he wants to, and all this other shit. But let me do this here. First and foremost, I'm going to give up some props. Joe Burrow is a very good quarterback. Joe Burrow, as I've said a couple of times on here, Joe Burrow, his demeanor and everything, the way he kind of carries himself, he is that of a young Tom Brady. Okay? He carries himself like Brady. He's a silent assassin, very cerebral in the whole 9 yards. Way more athletic than Brady would ever be. Having said that, I will give the Bengals 2021 season and I will give them the 2022 season. In those 2 years, right, 10-6, he had 34 touchdowns, 14 picks. led the league in completion percentage. He's a 68 completion guy. That's very good. 2022, I think when they went to the Super Bowl, he's 68.3, 4,475 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. He missed 7 games last year. He missed 6 to 7 games in his rookie year. That's 14 games missed. Okay? 14 games missed. So, we have a little thing going on right here. It's all good. I say now, Cincinnati Bengals as a franchise has went to 3 Super Bowls. They went to the 81 season Super Bowl. I don't remember the numbers off of it. I can always remember the year. Because I always remember years, especially back in the day, on what grade I was in. They went to that of the 81 Super Bowl. I think I was in 8th grade. Then they went to the other Super Bowl 20-something or whatever it was, in the 88 season. I think I was 20 years old, going on 21 years old. I just been up to Virginia here for about close to a year. They lost that to the 49ers. 49ers twice, actually, just like they did in the 81 season. And then in the 2022 season, they went to a Super Bowl where Kansas City should have stumped the mud hole in their ass, but they had some decent coaching and them guys didn't want to quit. They still had a chance because had Kansas City scored before halftime, that would have been big. And I don't think they would have dug themselves out of a hole. But they gave them a chance, and Kansas City still actually had a chance to win. But that's neither here nor there. That's been almost 2 years ago. Now, having said that, both of those other Super Bowls that were lost, they were lost by 2 Bengal quarterbacks that actually, in all actuality, both of them, Boomer, as well as Ken Anderson, both of them was first-team All-Pros. Both of them were MVPs. And if I'm not mistaken, one I know for sure that I want to say that Ken Anderson may have been the Offensive Player of the Year that particular year. Put it all together. Well, Burrow still hadn't even done any of that. They had more accolades than that of Joe Burrow has had. And he's already put up in the upper echelon as one of the great quarterbacks. He's the top quarterback in the league. They always put him in number 2. What has he won? Where's his MVP? Where's his All-Pro at? I don't give a shit about the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl is it's PE now. So it doesn't even matter. It hasn't mattered in almost 15 fucking years about the goddamn Pro Bowl. I already done a show on that. The Pro Bowl is garbage. Because they make it to be garbage. Until they have to turn it into a goddamn having a play day at school. But that's another story. I've already ranted on that. What has Cincinnati Bengals won? Okay, they got an AFC championship. Give them that. Trip to the Super Bowl. They could have. Well, Jamar Chase is open. It's a lot of guys that's always open. Marvin Harrison was open a couple of damn days ago. Old boy just didn't see him. He got under pressure. He didn't see him. He's looking on the left side of the field. He didn't look on the right side of the field. If he saw him, you know he's going to hit him with a fucking dot. He didn't see him. That's the name of the game. It happens like that sometimes. Coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever the fuck you want to call it. At the end of the day, it didn't happen. So he didn't see Jamar Chase, and then he would eventually get sacked and try to throw the ball laying down or whatever like that, like Patrick Mahomes or like some other quarterbacks have done and all this other kind of shit. He lost. Had opportunities, he lost. Brock Purdy had opportunities, he lost. He had 2 or 3 goddamn throws that he was the quarterback that everybody says that he is. He missed some easy fucking throws in that last part of that quarter. But again, let's not get off subject here. Oh, what has Cincinnati Bengals won? Now, if you go to Twitter, you would think, as a Cincinnati Bengals fan, they have won. And literally, they have said, well, he is supposed to be Patrick Mahomes. The crazy part about that is Mahomes had won his first Super Bowl, and then old boy, that same particular year had won the national championship. They were already trying to crown him, and this is the gift and the curse of social media. You had a lot of motherfuckers on here talking and running their fucking mouth, including myself, running their mouth, and it's a good thing. But at the same time, you sit back and look at it and say, it's a reason why everybody can't have a fucking mic or are not on these particular shows. Because sometimes having the no chill button fucks up everything that they say, right? So I get that, but also you have the chance to express yourself, and you have a lot of valid points. But you have Twitter, and these people just be saying some of the most outlandish shit with no fact checking at all. At all. What has the Cincinnati Bengals won as a franchise? Aside from 3 AFC championships. That sounds good, and it is good, but it's good. It's not great. Great is when you win the Super Bowl. This is not the 60s where when you win the AFC or the AFL, and that means you have a title because that the merger hadn't been completed. Since the Super Bowl merger, since the era of the Super Bowl, how many fucking Super Bowls have the Cincinnati Bengals won as a franchise? I'll tell you how much. 0. Separate. Zilch. Nada. None. They've won nothing. Joe Burrow, even from all of the accolades that they keep trying to give him and put him in the upper echelon, much like they're trying to do Justin Herbert, with this guy, he has not won nothing. Joe Burrow has 1 fucking Pro Bowl nod. 1. I'll count it again. 0, 1. He's won 1 Pro Bowl. He's 1 goddamn Pro Bowl. He is an AFC championship winner. I'll give him that. Nice stats. Give him that. He's done nothing else. He has done nothing else. And from the looks of it, and I said last year, if they don't get it done, when I said last season, it ain't going to get done. It's not going to get done. It will not get done. It won't. Now, you'll have assholes on here that'll come on the page, or some jokers, some pundits talking this shit about X, Y, and Z. Well, you know, Dan Marino didn't. Bro, don't embarrass yourself like that. Don't embarrass yourself like that. Even with the 1 Super Bowl that Dan Marino went to and lost, you're looking at somebody that's winning about 11 games a year out of 16 throughout his whole career. He wasn't good just 1 season, not 2 seasons. Marino was good. Was great for about 4 years and was extremely and always in the top 5 in everything for the rest of his career, probably from the last, and was extremely durable. Extremely durable. It wasn't until, let me get this right. Let's go look it up real quick for shits and giggles, because I like this. 147 and 93. So it wasn't until what game that was? I think in the 10th or 11th year when he fucked up his Achilles and they had to bring Scott Mitchell in. He played 5 games. Played 5 games and already threw over 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks, and they were 4-1 and he fucked up his Achilles. That's it. Marino ended up being, like I said, 147 and 93. Only had what, man, 3 losing seasons, a couple of 500 seasons. The rest of everything was 14, 14, 12, 11, 10, 10, 9, 11. Okay. And you're talking about something, I mean, with Marino's stats within itself, because I'm using this also for Justin Herbert, because they all say, well, he's like Marino, blah, 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 all this bullshit there. Even with Marino, 147 and 93 doing what he did, league MVP, offensive player of the year, had that fucking quarterback stat, the 5,000 yards and the 40 some odd touchdowns, and an area where you could still rough a motherfucker up, led the league in passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking times. Probably would have did it his rookie year if he started. And still made a Pro Bowl. When they actually mattered. Okay? So, he's not in that fucking league. I'm not saying he can't get in that league. That's the league we're talking about. You're talking about a 9-time Pro Bowl and 3-time All-Pro, probably about 8 times All-Pro, 4 or 5 times second team, 3-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowl for gang of yards when football was still football. What in the fuck has Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals won aside from the AFC title? Nothing. They've won nothing. He's done nothing. But a lot of people say he's the second best quarterback. Accolades got to come up in there. It's a reason why they put out accolades. It's a reason why numbers matter. It's a reason why you pick all pro teams, Pro Bowl teams, and MVPs and Defensive Player of the Years and Offensive Player of the Years. It's a reason why you do that. Those accomplishments add up when you win them, especially a few times, 3 and 4 years in a fucking row. Burrow, 1-time Pro Bowl, and he was a second-string fucking quarterback. So get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You've won nothing. And now they starting again slow, 0-1. Then they started 1-3 last couple of years. Now, I don't know now. Rumor has it, via Twitter or X or whatever Musk calls it motherfuckers now, or whatever he calls it now, or whatever he let that crazy-ass bitch he got kids by name it. What has he won? What has the Bengals won? T. Higgins is out. Jamar Chase supposedly turned down $34 million a year. Supposedly. I don't know how true it is. Again, I'm going to court to Twitter. Now they're saying that old boy's wrist is still fucked up. I'll ask you Bengal fans again, what the fuck have y'all won? Now, if y'all want to be a shithead and dickhead and say, Dallas ain't won nothing. That is correct. You are absolutely right on that. That is correct. That is correct. We have won a lot more than y'all have in the Super Bowl era and whatnot. Because I still say Cincinnati is a fractured franchise still probably ran by Paul Brown's son, Mike Brown, who's a fucking idiot. He's had a lot of talent to come through there, and for them to not to have done something, it's a travesty. But again, that's neither here nor there. Where the here is the fact that disillusioned Cincinnati Bengals fans talk all of this shit, and these guys have won nothing. What have they won? What have they done? Again, Burrow's a fine quarterback and whatnot, but you put him on. Let me get this straight. So over the last couple of years, we know that in the past 5 years, for sure, 2 MVPs have went to Mahomes. 2 MVPs has went to Lamar Jackson. Now Lamar Jackson hasn't won a Super Bowl or anything like that. Mahomes have won 3. I think somewhere in there, Aaron Rodgers won an MVP, and those are all of those things are all of those things that I said with all those guys with the stuff that they made and going to Super Bowls and all this other shit like that or whatever. It's like okay, and those guys are your first and second team All Pros. Burrow's not even in there. So you're going to tell me, so then Lamar Jackson, so you don't even bring up Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts haven't even really played that much. And I'm not no Eagles fan. I'm a Hurts fan. He's a Texas kid. So anybody from Texas playing that QB position, I root for to an extent. But I'm like, so let me get this straight. So Jalen Hurts, All-Pro second team, go to the Pro Bowl. Phenomenal game in the Super Bowl, but he did turn the ball over. at a crucial time. But if he's not there, they get the fucking, if he's not quarterbacking, for one, they're not there. But if he's not quarterbacking that game, they get the fucking brakes beat out for them. It's not even a fair game. They're not even in the fucking game. Not even in the game. Oh, put it this way. Had he did what he did against Kansas City, and he did that against the fucking Rams, who the Bengals lost to, they'd have beat the shit out of them. They'd have beat the shit out of the Rams. Period. End of story. They'd have beat the shit out of them. In my opinion. But that's neither here nor there as well. So the funny thing about it is like, so all of a sudden, all of these other guys, from whether it's Josh Allen, whether it's Justin Herbert, whether it's whomever that they're trying to push up there, they're trying to sit up there and put Bo Jick or Bo Nix or Bo Jick up there already. And this motherfucker ain't do nothing but flee from Auburn, running from his father's mediocre fucking talent. I'm about the same age as his father. I remember when Pat Nix played at Auburn. So what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? So again, I'll give him his due, but say, oh, he's this, he's that. He's done nothing. He has accomplished nothing. And you thought that he was going to at least come out and bury the fucking the Patriots. He looked pedestrian. The whole goddamn team looked pedestrian, to be perfectly honest. That's why I say their window closed. They were stacked. Now, Mixon's gone. Don't know what's going on. Jamar Chase is going to be a goddamn ninja because he's already, you could already tell that, you already tell that motherfucker's a diva. Higgins is pull hamstring or something going on with that. And rumors about this guy's wrist. Okay. But y'all have this make-believe shit on Twitter that y'all have actually accomplished something when you haven't accomplished dick. You've accomplished nothing. And I hope you motherfuckers lose every goddamn game. Because you're not being realistic. You're being delusional. So cut the fucking joke. Fine quarterback. Y'all want to put him up? I'm not putting him up there. I will sit up there and put up Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and if you want to throw old boy up in there, throw him in there. At around 5, 6, or 7. As a matter of fact, I ain't gonna put him up there. Now people say, "Oh man," I throw Dak up there. The season that Dak had last year, Dak has had great seasons, very solid, great seasons. No, he hasn't won a championship and all this kind of stuff. Look at the man's stats and his numbers and what he's put up since 2016. That tells you everything you need to know. Your body of work's supposed to account for something, not a fucking projection on what you think should happen. Nobody on Twitter or online, on the internet, on this social media shit will allow quarterbacks, and I know why, allow quarterbacks to go, because it was a time when I came up, it's like you sat there and you like, let me just soak in the greatness of what I'm seeing. I didn't like San Francisco, but goddamn it, Joe Montana was a fucking baller. And you soaked it in. You didn't try to dismiss him. I could soak up Dan Marino. I could soak up Dan Fouts. I could soak up John Elway. I could soak them guys up. Not somebody trying to hurry up and push motherfuckers out of the fucking limelight when they're balling. And try to make it this thing where everybody now has a fucking comment. When back then, it was just the news pundits, those guys. Now you got social media, all these people saying, and it's like, it means something because everybody reads this shit. I'm not even, but no, he's not even going. I say, no, Joe Burrow's not even going above Dak Prescott. Sorry. Look at what Dak Prescott is doing. You say, well, I'm like, whatever. Dak Prescott was one of the top 2, top 3 quarterbacks last year. Period in the story. He was second team All-Pro behind fucking Lamar Jackson. Get the fuck out of here. Football's a team game. This is not fucking tennis. It's stupid ass, this is not tennis. So cut the fucking jokes. So like I said, so he ain't even done that. He's fell down. Now, if you want to talk about 2021, 2022, you got an argument. I'll give you a little argument on that one. But even there, he might be top 4, top 5. What? Maybe. If I get into them stats, maybe. I'll give him 2021, 2022. I'll give him that. He got that. Cincinnati, they were balling 10-6 and then 12-4. I'll give him that. But he got beat by somebody that he was supposed to be far superior over. That's Matthew Stafford. And I always thought Matthew Stafford was a nice quarterback. He just played with a bum-ass franchise. Finally got somewhere, and he won a championship. You know? So can we stop this shit, this nut hugging, this ball licking, this cuckness that goes on with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, who have not won anything. That's to all you goddamn Cincinnati Bengal fans. Haven't won anything. Win something first, and then make some accolades. Come on back and talk to me later. And we can have a serious discussion. This is really not a discussion. This is just, I've saved this until football season because I've been battling these motherfuckers on Twitter. I saved this for this season right here. Didn't get a chance to do it the way I wanted to normally do it because I had other issues come up. Life comes up. But no, Joe Burrow has not done anything. He got to the Super Bowl. Big deal. So did Jared Goff. A lot of motherfuckers got the Super Bowls. 50-some are fucking what? All kind of goddamn 50, 100, whatever type fucking quarterbacks have goddamn went to the fucking Super Bowl. And it's always 50-some losers. Some of those losers are never to be heard of again. Some of the winners are never to be heard of again. But they'll always be around because they're winning. Lose it, nobody even remembers your fucking name. Tony Eason went to a fucking Super Bowl. You would talk about Steve Grogan before you talk about that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. What the fuck are we talking about here? So, I mean, we can go. Vince Ferragamo got to a fucking Super Bowl. You don't even hear that. You'll hear Pat Hayden's name before you hear that motherfucker's name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, dude. What the fuck are we talking about? What's that motherfucker name? Was it Matthews against the fucking Colts that took the Bears in the Super Bowl? You hear Jim McMahon, that motherfucker. Fuck that. You probably hear I hear Bob Evelini's name before I hear that motherfucker's name. So going to a fucking Super Bowl or winning an AFC or NFC championship, if you don't finish it, it means nothing. Nothing. So Bengal fans, y'all ain't won shit yet. So go back to your fucking hole in Ohio and do whatever the fuck you do. Like I say to you all the time, there is no GOAT, no greatest of all time as long as time's still going on. And like I say, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. I'll holler at you guys later.